season is here. After a terrific summer, Chatham prepares for the visitors who prefer the warm days and cool nights of the fall. Hands down, this is my favorite season. I'm Huntley Harrison, together with Rich Garvin and Jerry Panuzek, to bring you the September installment of Chatham Today, the show that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the town of Chatham. This show marks the start of our third year. Nationwide, there are very few towns that produce a show that highlights their events and activities in a video format. We are extremely fortunate to have the support of the Board of Selectmen, the Chatham Chamber of Commerce, and of course, that of our viewers. We hope it has been both interesting and informative these past 2 years, and we look forward to many more as we bring you shows that chronicle life in this wonderful town. Thank you for your continued support. Today, we are at Coast Guard Station Chatham. The station and the lighthouse overlook the infamous Chatham Bar and are considered trademarks of the town. The history of the station goes back to the days of the United States Life-Saving Service in 1786. But the light itself, actually 2 lights, was built in 1808. Thomas Jefferson appointed the first keeper of Chatham Light. The Coast Guard assumed responsibility for the lighthouse in 1939. Currently, the keepers of the light is the Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 11-1, which has volunteered countless hours upkeeping the light and conducting weekly tours for the public. We will be taking a tour of Station Chatham later in the show, and we'll interview our host, Senior Chief Bosun's Mate Rob Goley, who is the officer in charge of the station. But first, we'll catch you up on what's happening in September. The Atwood House continues to feature 3 temporary exhibits, along with a special exhibit of textiles from the Chatham Historical Society collections. Highly original and strikingly beautiful contemporary needlework is the subject of works most artful and ingenious. Embroidery by Anne Gray, the first comprehensive exhibition of this Chatham artist's career. The Atwood House Museum is excited to be able to present some 30 examples of Gray's work, many of which have never been publicly exhibited before. The exhibit will open visitors' eyes to the potential of a medium often considered limiting. Along with the finished pieces, the exhibition will explore Gray's creative process by including works in progress, examples of her drawings, and several of the artist's handmade notebooks in which she records experiments that find their way into her work. Columbus Day weekend will be the final opportunity to see this full exhibition of Anne Gray's work. Constructing Wilderness, Images of Monomoy, an exhibition of photographs of Monomoy will be on view in the museum's main gallery. Included will be historic images from the archives of the Historical Society and work by contemporary Chatham residents and photographers John King and Shireen Davis. Monomoy, which occupies an important place in the history and identity of Chatham, has evolved over time, and the photographs in Images of Monomoy trace more than a century of that evolution. In the Wendy Wade Costello Gallery, the museum will present The Chart Makers, a special exhibition about chart George Eldridge and his son, George W. Those who venture into the waters off Cape Cod have always faced the challenge of navigating along a constantly changing coastline. The charts and publications of the coastlines and shoals of Cape and surrounding areas by George and George W. Eldridge were likely responsible for saving the lives of thousands of seafarers. This installation will feature items from Atwood House Museum archives as well as 2 early Eldridge charts on loan by Maps of Antiquity of Chatham. And last but not least, the Atwood House is pleased to present a special exhibit of wedding clothing and accessories on display in the historic Atwood House. The clothing dates from 1830 to the late 1800s. And upcoming events at the Atwood House are lectures for the fall season on Sunday, October 12th at 2 p.m., What We Heard, What We Saw. 3 Chatham women share memories of the town. And on Sunday, November 9th at 2 p.m., Elizabeth Renard and Virginia Gildersleeve, Shaping the World, the Nation, and Cape Cod by Marcia Finley. Starting September 2nd through October 11th, the Atwood House Museum will be open Tuesday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. On Columbus Day weekend, they will be open the entire weekend, including Sunday.
The month of September is shaping up to be quite busy at the Council on Aging. Get your calendar out and mark the dates. Vic Solo, The Elvis Experience, lunch and show on Monday, September 8th at 12 p.m. for only $9. The Council is happy to welcome back superstar Vegas performer Vic Solo for his most popular show, The Elvis Experience. Come for an Elvis concert like no other. Combined with their gourmet lunch, this is the best $9 you'll spend all September. Space is very limited and tickets will sell out fast, so call the COA or stop by the front desk to make your reservation today. On Friday, September 26th, there will be a day trip to the Cape Cod Museum of Art. The van will leave the Council on Aging at 10:30 a.m. Museum admission is $5, paid at the door. Afterwards, they will go to Scargo Cafe in Dennis for lunch, where separate checks will be available. Please note that reservations are required. Lunch and museum admission are not provided by the COA. Transportation, however, is free. Call to sign up soon, as space is very limited. Call today. The Chatham Senior Center and the VNA Hospice Bereavement Support Program are pleased to offer a new bereavement support group for people who are coping with the loss of a loved one. Share with others who are also grieving. Learn how new coping strategies. This ongoing confidential monthly group is open to anyone who has lost a loved one through death in the last 2 years. It is facilitated by Nancy Higgins, licensed social worker, bereavement counselor, VNA Hospice. The group will meet on the second Thursday of each month from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., starting September 11th. For planning purposes, pre-registration is required. Call the COA at 508-945-5190. If you have specific questions about this group, call Nancy Higgins at 508-957-7715. Senior Day at Whole Foods in Hyannis. You are invited to visit the store for a variety of different events, samplings, and educational classes each Wednesday. The Chatham Council on Aging will be offering transportation to and from Senior Day on September 17th and October 15th. The event begins at 10 a.m. and the COA bus will leave Chatham around 9 a.m. Again, space is limited. Call for more information or to register. On Wednesday, September 10th at 1:30 p.m., Chatham COA Cinema presents Nebraska. An aging, booze-addled father makes the trip from Montana to Nebraska with his estranged son in order to claim $1 million mega sweepstakes. Starring Bruce Dern, Will Forte, and June Squibb. This is a great movie. Don't miss it. I've seen it and I can attest to it. On September 22nd at 1 p.m., there will be a Nauset Neighbors outreach meeting. Nauset Neighbors is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization that helps seniors remain in their homes and community as they age. With a single call, members can receive assistance with rides, a friendly visit, handyman services, technology help, and other support. Their volunteers offer a service that helps with the necessities of life, as well as providing trips to the library or senior center. They are asking for volunteers from the Chatham area. They can only help seniors if they have enough volunteers from the community to support them. Members pay a recently reduced small flat rate fee of $75 a year for a single member or $95 a year for a household, which can be waived if it presents an obstacle to joining. If you are interested in helping your neighbors, could use help yourself, or just want to learn more, please come to the outreach meeting at the COA on September 22nd at 1 p.m. Come and hear all the ways you might help others or all the ways you might help you. Come early for the $7 gourmet lunch at noon. And finally, a preview of upcoming COA events for October. AARP will present a driver safety program October 6th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Alzheimer's Association will present 3 workshops of special interest to seniors on the first 3 Wednesdays in October. And a new Tai Chi class will run from October 10th through November 5th. Plan ahead, call the COA for information and to make reservations.
And now for the September events at the Eldridge Public Library. Mondays at 10:30 a.m., Chatham writers members meet to explore different writing genres. Share your work with the group. If you would like to join, call Jeff Honner at 508-945-9962. Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., Chatham Memoirs Group. Everyone can write about their own experiences, but do you need tips to make them more interesting reading? If you want to join this group, call Mal Ward at 508-945-4284. Tuesday, September 9th at 7 p.m., Chatham Great Books Discussion Group. The Great Books Discussion Group is for those who want to talk about outstanding writings in history, literature, philosophy, politics, science, theology, and other disciplines. The group will use shared inquiry approach to book discussion. They will meet the second Tuesday of each month from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the library. For more information, please call facilitator Rick Pike at 508-221-3240. Wednesday, September 10th at 1 p.m., Kindle ebook demo. Reference librarian Amy Andreasen will present instructions for downloading ebooks to your Kindle and tips for researching the CLAM's digital library site. Registration is required. Also, Wednesday, September 10th at 2 p.m., Kindle Fire ebook demo. Reference librarian Amy Andreasen will present instructions for downloading ebooks to your Kindle Fire and tips for searching the CLAM's digital library site. Registration is also required. And for iPad owners, Wednesday, September 10th at 3:30 p.m., iPad ebook demo. Amy Andreasen will present instructions for downloading ebooks to your iPad and tips for searching the CLAM's digital library site. Again, registration is required. Author event with Jean Carley. Tuesday, September 16th at 2 p.m., local author Jean Marie Carley is a folk art historian and writer with a background in journalism, art, and genealogy. Her book, Folk Art of Cape Cod and the Islands, recounts the histories of the hard-working, entrepreneurial people of Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket, and their role in this nation. As told through the folk art primitives the residents produce from the 18th to the 20th centuries. The art displayed includes the work of itinerant painters, domestic weavers, and quilters, seminary school watercolorists, and carvers in wood, metal, and stone. On Tuesday, September 23rd at 4 p.m., Friends of the Eldridge Public Library Book Discussion Group. This group meets once a month from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Everyone is welcome. At this first meeting, we will choose books and dates for the year. If you have any questions, please contact Linda Nixon at 508-945-2094. And finally, Saturday, September 27th at 2 p.m., Book to Film Discussion Group. Call the library for this month's selection.
And now for some items of general interest. The Creative Arts Center kicks off its fall schedule of classes, workshops, and exhibitions in September. Check out their website for more information. Chatham Gallery Nights, September through November, on the second Saturday of the month from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This townwide event is sponsored by the Chatham Gallery Association. Meet the Fleet, Wednesday, September 24th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 at the Commercial Fishermen's Alliance headquarters at 1566 Main Street. Dogfish and skate cheeks. Join local fishermen to learn about life on the water and the different types of seafood they bring to shore for us all to enjoy. Chefs give cooking tips and samples of the locally harvested seafood. Members are free. Non-members, $10. Call 508-945-2432, extension 111, to make a reservation. And finally, a good segue into our visit to Coast Guard Station Chatham. Chatham Lighthouse Tour, Wednesday, September 10th, from 1300 to 1500 hours. That's Coast Guard time, but for us landlubbers, it's 1 to 3 p.m. Rich Garvin is here with Senior Chief Bosun's Mate Rob Goley, who is in charge of the station Chatham. We have asked him to tell us about the station and what goes on day to day at a surf station. Rich?
Okay, thank you, Huntley. I'm here at Coast Guard Station Chatham with Senior Officer Rob Goley. Good morning, Rob, and thank you for the time.
Good morning.
I have a couple questions. First of all, I was looking at the Coast Guard motto, Semper Paratus, and the Latin translation, or the English translation from the Latin, is always ready. How does that motto affect the everyday activities of the U.S. Coast Guard?
Sure. Well, Station Chatham specifically, we're a search and rescue station. We're a surf station in that, meaning that we have trained crews and boats that are able to cross the Chatham Bar and cross breaking surf. And we have crews that are on duty 24/7, 365, ready to respond to any mariners in distress.
That sounds like it keeps you quite busy. And speaking of busy, how has this summer been as far as that activity?
Actually, overall, search and rescue-wise, it's been relatively slow. We've had about 40 search and rescue calls this summer, but we also do maritime law enforcement and liver marine resource protection. So we've been a little busy with that, with commercial striped bass and some other fisheries that we're helping to enforce.
So you have the job to enforce the quotas on the striped bass fishery?
We don't necessarily enforce quotas, but we enforce the federal regulations, assist the NOAA or the National Marine Fisheries Service in the enforcement of their duties. We assist them.
Okay. And have the fishermen been cooperative? Do they understand that duty that you have?
Absolutely. We have a great relationship with the fishing fleet in Chatham and the local harbors, and they understand that we understand that they have a job to do, and they understand that we have a job to do, and we have a great relationship.
That's good. That's good. Now, when you're out there on the water, you guys train all the time. You go through the basic training at Cape May, but when you're here, you're still training. You never stop. Now, how do you keep working the guys into that training mode?
Sure. Like you said, we train all the time. We're always ready, always prepared to go out and conduct a mission, and that requires training. So we have a whole separate training department here that makes sure that our crews are ready to go. We what we call push a lot of water, meaning we get underway a lot, and we just go out there and do a lot of training, towing boats, dewatering vessels, all sorts of drills, 24/7, day and night.
So it's not a dull job, I would say. You guys are going all the time, and you're doing a great job helping the public and keeping our coastlines safe. And anything you'd like to add, Chief?
No. Just thanks for the opportunity to let us tell the Station Chatham story, and look forward to the rest of your visit.
wraps it up for this time. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Chatham Today. Remember, the show runs on Channel 99 on Mondays at 9 a.m. and several other times during the week. If you missed the cablecast or want to see it again, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, or you can visit our website. Just do a Google search for site/Chatham Today. It should be the first entry you see. The web address is on the screen now. Chatham Today is a video chronicle of the events and activities in the town of Chatham. If you would like to have what's happening in your organization announced on the air, please email us. We look forward to hearing from you. You can also like us on Facebook under Chatham Today. We hope you do. Thank you for watching. We'll see you down the road.